Greetings Anonymous. The concept that we create reality is so ancient, so basic, and so integral to our existence that it is often lost in the myriad of details, trivial busy work and frustrating complications that make up our modern lives. This is an engineered loop of infinite, useless feedback. We work to pay to live, but our work keeps us exhausted. We work to pay to eat, but our food does not nourish us. We are so focused on paying for our homes, our cars, and the frivolous accoutrements of a vapid consumer culture that we aren't left with the time to realize that this engineered loop is nothing but a lie, an illusion. The elite insist this way of life is essential for survival, but this is only a stopgap measure towards keeping our frames of reference small, towards keeping us wrapped up in materialism under the guise of progress, and to perpetuate the myth that there is a hole inside of us that should be filled with things, rather than ideas. When we are preoccupied with celebritarian nonsense and our own first world problems, we do not have time to think about the deterioration of our civil liberties and intrinsic human rights. We do not have time to think about what will happen when the sea level rises an extra 20 feet. We know that it is happening, but we assume that someone else will do something about it, because obviously, we cannot. The most harmful attitude that a person can cultivate is the attitude that their actions and thoughts make no difference. When this attitude takes hold, the war for our minds is lost by us. This transference of responsibility is akin to spiritual death, because it robs us of our natural right to act, to create, and to decide for ourselves what we want our life to be. Transference of responsibility is an affirmation of our separateness, which is a lie. This attitude keeps us in a disempowered state, a state in which our critical thinking skills are sleeping. This is exactly what they want. The shamans, yogis, and wise men of times past have been espousing for centuries what our modern physicists are just beginning to discover, that matter shapes itself to the expectations of our human minds. The clearest evidence of this lies with the fact that if someone is in a bad mood, they will probably have a bad time. The correlation between a bad mood and a bad time is apparent when you see that moods and attitudes become the guiding force behind our actions. These actions shape our personal and shared realities, worldviews and belief systems. As with a human intellect, all of these elements function together to create the singular entity in which the sum is greater than the parts. As with Anonymous, all of these elements function together to create the singular entity in which the sum is greater than the parts. The microcosm reflects the macrocosm. Change begins with you. With us. We are Anonymous. We are Legion.